What is chi? This is one of the subjects which I've been wanting to talk about for some time, and for some people it can be a bit mysterious, and this is understandable. And what I'm going to say is still correct. It's often referred to as energy, like auric energy, or the ball of energy which is held with qi gong, which means cultivation of qi or tai chi. And I've been practicing Reiki for quite a long time now, so I'm quite used to it in that context. But to try and demystify this, I'm going to talk about it more within the body and how it's cultivated and how we use it. Not in the same detail as it would be in a classroom. This is for everyday people, so I'm hoping this will help with understanding what is done within an acupuncture practice and why we refer to things as they are. So there's no real translation in English. There's no word you would find in modern English for chi, which is spelt Qi, but it's pronounced more of a Chee. And there has been within our culture, in our Celtic culture of the British Isles, the word was nuithwe, which can be, it means air, really, or breath. In Hindu, it can mean breath as well. That's prana. So there is other words that can be used for it. So yeah, there's 240 different possible words in China that uses the word chi. Now, with my Reiki training, I was reading through many books and came across two words in Japan. So the Japanese word for chi is ki, spelled Ki, and there's two words, byoki, which means illness, and gyoshi, which means healthy. So you can see how it's been put into different contexts, and this is also true of Chinese medicine. But there's various different words that mean chi. I'll go through some of them and try and explain it a little bit. So air, breath is also on here as well. Gas, smell, spirit or energy, quality. Now this is an interesting one. It can mean the quality of something that you can touch, like is it hard, is it soft, does it crumble, is it very strong? It can also mean the quality of someone's feelings or their words, or the feelings behind the words. So I could be very soft, I could be very loud, I could be very shouty. So it can mean many things. Now, one of the things I'm going to be referring to is the digestive system and how chi is cultivated in everyday life. And I was talking about energy, and with energy there is movement. And so chi allows things to move, and it holds things in place, and it allows things to move freely as well. Good chi moves nice and freely and smoothly, but still has some strength. Chi can be rarefied, be a vapour, or be dense. So how is chi produced in the body? Now if we look at the symbol, chi, the first part of the symbol, the top half, refers to ether or steam. That's what it means. And the bottom half, which looks like energy kind of firing out, or a bit like the Union Jack, is rice. And rice gives the chi form, and it's much more yin. So you have the yin, which is rice, and the yang, which is the steam. And now we're going to see this in another form as a cauldron. Now the cauldron is basically our body, and the area is our stomach and our spleen. The spleen being the yin and the stomach being the yang. Things move through the stomach, and the spleen stores. Now when we talk about the spleen, we're also talking about the pancreas. The ancient text refers to the spleen and describes a lot about the pancreas, including where it is and the pictures as well. I saw a picture of it yesterday as it was drawn, and it looks a little bit like the pancreas. But anyway, so the stomach and the spleen, they transform and transport by the writing and rotting of the food, the nutrients, and as it moves through the digestive system, some will then move up and become chi, or energy that's used for our body, and the rest of it will be excreted. So if you think of glucose and all the nutrients that we get from our food, as it becomes much more rarefied, as it needs to go into our bloodstream and feed the rest of our body, that is chi. And that also allows us to be strong, and it holds everything in place. It holds our blood vessels in place, it feeds our bones, and it makes us strong. It also feeds our nervous system, and it allows us to get through our everyday. This is known as post-heaven chi, so it's what we have every day. And this is also combined with pre-heaven chi, known as jing. This refers to our genes. It's what we get when we are born, and it's our constitution. So it's what we have from the moment we are born right through to when we die. So this, the post-heaven chi bolsters that. So that is why it is so important to look at our diet, look at our lifestyle. So if you go and see a good therapist, it doesn't matter what the tradition, if they look at your lifestyle and your diet in a holistic way, then you're onto a good thing. And you'll find that is very true of a lot of people that practice TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. They give you lots of advice. So chi, with chi you have blood. They nourish our body. And then you have our nervous system. Now, with that, with it giving us movement, we have our muscles, and the meridians, they run through the fascia, which run along our muscle groupings. And if you look into that, you'll see how similar myofascial lines run through that are the same as meridians or channels. I prefer to call them channels than meridians, because it just describes them better. So when there is an impairment, there will be an impairment of movement. And when there's an impairment of movement, there will be pain. So that's why with acupuncture we treat pain, and we look at it from a channel point of view, is because we are trying to get the movement back in that channel. And this can also be true of organs as well. So we are trying to allow the movement, the free movement of the chi, the energy, to help and feed those organs. A lot of the points for the organs are actually over the organs as well as distally as well. So it does make some sense. So if we're talking about the stomach and the spleen, we have a point which goes over the stomach, and it helps with that stomach, because they are micro nerves in that area which are stimulated, and it also moves the blood and the oxygen, which then feeds that area and it opens it up. So this sounds quite mysterious, but it does actually work, and there are various points. So as I've been talking about the spleen and stomach a lot, what we use are spleen and stomach points to help with that organ. So the ones that are used most often, the most often one is stomach 36, and there is spleen 3, spleen 6, ren 12, which I was just talking about, which goes right over the stomach. It's what's known as a front moo point because it's on the front and it's over the actual organ itself. And on the back there are points known as back shu. Now back shu points run along the same neural pathways as that particular organ. So we have stomach 20 for the spleen and stomach 21 for the stomach, and they help with those particular organs and also help with chi. So and there are other points as well, but I won't go into that. So how can you help with diet? Now diet, root vegetables are very, very good for the spleen. That's your carrots, your parsnips, beetroot's very good, also good for blood as well. Ginger is fantastic because if we go back to that cauldron, you could see that there was the fire element and the water element, and you have down in that area of the guts, just around the navel, the belly button, you need heat. And what ginger does is it warms up that area. It stimulates digestion, so it's fantastic for chi. And then there's bone broth, which helps bolster the marrow. So so it feeds blood. Basically, when you boil the broth, you are getting all of those nutrients. So you get the marrow to help with blood. You get aspects of bone which help feed the bones, and you get collagen which helps with the fascia, the connective tissue. So it helps on so many levels. So it's very, very good for blood and very, very good for chi. It holds everything in place. It's fantastic for the gut. And those are the three main things to eat. And maybe try qigong or yoga, because both of those things will help on so many levels with movement of the body, and also feeding that chi or that prana. And my name is James Woodward. I work in the Tranquility Space in Herne Bay. You can find our website, thetranquilityspace.co.uk, and also we have the YouTube channel, so subscribe. Thank you and goodbye.